Greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 234th live stream from the Misfit Gamer Studios. I am your host, Vortex, and this is D&D Discussions. On today's episode, we are going to try to get through 2 backgrounds from Des today. First, we're going to start with the ranch hand, and if we get to that relatively quickly, we will also be doing the doctor. So we'll take a look at these, see if they're any good, and if they are worth you picking up. But first, let me get Kage into the call because he's waiting on hold. There he is. Look at that beautiful face.
Shalom, my friends. What's happening, you guys?
All right, there we
Happy
go.
to be here.
What's up, everybody? Let me get those things that everyone wants, the 1, 2s, and 3s. Let me get them out right quick.
Them numbers. Come on now.
So I have some bad news for everybody. I have some very terrible news for everybody. I'm sorry. I mean, well, it's not for everybody. I mean, it's not bad for Kage. It's not bad for me. It's not bad for Vixie. It's bad for all of you, though. I am extremely, extremely happy, and at the same time, so regretful for you to find out that the Oracle is done. By the way, that's the exciting news. The not so exciting news is that due to its development and capabilities, y'all don't get access to it. It is going to be an amazing tool for me, and it has gotten so much better. It is so much bigger than I could ever have thought it is, but it has lost all of its value as a public-facing tool. The idea of it just being, because you got to remember, the original idea was I was going to have a part of the website that you could go to and you could talk to, you could basically chat with it, and you could learn things about the stream, right? When what episode we talked about a certain thing, and it would give you the title and blah, blah, blah. And that sounded really cool. And maybe one day, if we polish it to a certain degree, maybe I could still do something that's basically an episode search. But at the end of the day, is that really that valuable? Like, who's really going to go to our website versus just YouTube?
Listen, I would say that would be something worth investing in if we end up blowing up and going crazy and be like, hey, like, there's a bunch of people who want to hear about us and want to know how many times we've talked about something. Like, yeah, they can. Okay, great.
Or like if it gets to the point where we're doing, you know, if like, if we get so popular that people just want to, because again, one thing that I can't stand is like one of my favorite streamers, right? I've talked about Dark Viper before. A lot of the times they'll be on stream and he'll get a question, and sometimes he'll answer questions, sometimes he's in a good mood, and then other times he'll be like, you know, man, I talked about that in a short or in a ramble or in a previous episode. And then he's like, just, you got to go binge my content if you want to know that answer. And I'm like, bro, you literally have thousands of hours on YouTube. So it's like, I get it. You don't want to say the same things over and over. I totally understand it. You've been doing this for like, probably, I think he's like doing it for like 17 years. I get it.
Valid.
But it's like, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it as much if he just wanted to be like, look, man, I've answered that before. I don't want to answer. I would accept that more than go binge my thousands of hours of content and find it. Because there is no way right now to easily find it. And it's those situations where I'm like, but imagine if someone asked me that question and go, you know what? I've already answered that. Go ask the Oracle and it'll give you the answer. That's where my mind originally was like, that could be a benefit, but that's not a benefit to our current audience. Like, there's not enough need for that. So yes, one day that might be built because it will be a very easy addition. But otherwise, the Oracle is done. It is 100% done. I am feeding it information. I am building the database and all of its information, but how it works and what it can do is done. Kind of crazy.
That's cool shit.
But yeah, I had put it on pause thinking it wasn't going to happen. But there's also better news. So that was, you know, great news for me, bad news for y'all. But I have better news for you. Because I just kind of can look at that as a proof of concept. Yeah, proof of concept. Because Now that I know that's possible.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
Since that was put on hold and now is completely done, the next thing that was put on hold.
Mm-hmm. I'm hyped for this one.
Was OSR.
Yeah, boy.
And I actually think, and I don't mean this like I meant before, like, oh, I could, no. I might have a working prototype in just a few weeks. Stay tuned.
Come on now.
OSR might actually be and Kage, you've seen how quickly we've started development on things.
Absolutely.
OSR might actually be right around the corner. I have to prioritize because there's other things that I have to consider. But once I figure out what the priorities are, OSR is going to be in development. And because I want to prioritize that over the website. I got to figure out which one's more important to develop.
Sure. Fair enough.
But once that prioritization is, the website will get back up and running. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, dude. Like, so yeah, OSR is back on the table for end of year.
It's coming soon, folks.
Like, I'll put that on the table for end of year, but end of year is like being not generous. That's being like, you know, well, I guess that is really generous because it's probably going to come a lot sooner than that. But that's just like being super safe. We're putting it out that far.
Sure.
Man, once that happens, dude, I really have to sit down now that we have the opportunity to get some things in development. I really have to sit down and think of, like, because, you know, we've talked about it, about like, you know, some like, you know, pet projects, but now I actually have to sit down like this and be like, okay, what are the things that we've talked about that we can now sit down and start pushing into development? OSR, I think, is really important.
Friendship.
Woohoo! Yeah, 16 months. Let's go.
Let's do it.
But yeah, so I feel like it's putting a lot of priority on things and just figuring out what is the most priority. But yeah, the website, OSR are definitely going to go up there, and I have a few other ones in the background that I have to just make sure. I don't even know what I was going to say. Basically, yeah, I just got to figure out if any of them are worth bringing back onto the plate, or leaving them as side projects and leaving them in the future. So
yeah,
but again, it's not a matter of if. Now it is a matter of when. OSR is back on the table. It is on the table. So is the website refix. All of that is on the table. It is just now both of them is a matter of when. Both of those are on the plate for this year. So that's crazy, my guy. That's crazy.
Dude, I'm so hyped for it. Seeing what's possible, kind of, you know, figuring out, you know, like you said, what we want to prioritize the most, because being able to make actionable motion is what's going to turn some things from the idea to the reality. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm hyped, but absolutely.
I am super hyped. Touching the Oracle and actually have.
Dude,
there we go. I just now got the update for the follow. But yeah, just having the Oracle means so much, because first off, what it means for me is just way more control and way more organization over High Point. What it will mean for my players is a customized integration to where they can control their character, and not just like a character sheet, but they can control their character in how it is connected to the rest of the world, and they can understand the broader connection of their character in ways that are much more intuitive than just raw notes. But what it also means for the brand is that we're actually going to be able to keep track all of those little tiny things that we say now on stream, where when we suggest that there's going to be a new plan, or that we have an idea for a stream, we are now going to be able to very easily and in a very automated way keep up with those ideas, keep track of them, and not just have them out there in the ether hoping that we take care of them. there's going to be a lot of not like a lot of like major changes, but there's going to be a lot of unique quality of life changes coming soon,
bro.
As all of this develops.
So hot, so hype. Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yes. Also, we need to get with Dez about the one-on-one. There's a couple questions I want to do, like a quick little. And we can just talk about it now, but couple things that I'm going to need from Dez, and I'll probably just send you a questionnaire later. But a few things that we're going to need is the one-on-one. Is something that I offered, but I would offer. I could say that if you wanted to have it with both of us, obviously I would send the request to Kage, and if he's available, he can join. But again, kind of on you on whether or not you just want one or both of us. We'll have to decide, when is a good date and time frame for that. What the topic's going to be about. So since it's kind of your one-on-one, originally that one-on-one was always going to be designed for like a D&D thing, to where it was just more of a either a private review or just a private discussion and back and forth and like being a soundboard. But at this point, it could be. I feel like, especially with what happened, it's kind of like the one-on-one could be anything. It could be, playing games. It could be talking about D&D. It could just kind of be a general, so we'll just have to figure out the topic of what,
That's fair.
Well, or not Dez, sorry, Cart. I think I said Dez, Cart. But, what Cart wants to do for that hour, when, if it's a one-on-one or if both of us can join. And I guess the other question was going to be whether or not it was just going to be like a private session through Discord, or if it was going to be like a custom stream, like if they actually wanted to like join in and then we could do that live. So those would be kind of like the questions on the questionnaire to kind of just figure out what the vibe is for the option.
Fair enough.
For the optional one.
Fair enough.
I can't remember that. So Cart, I will try to get a generalized list. If you heard that list and you want to just answer, you can toss that in Discord, and we'll figure it out. Just I don't know, pop that in either like sub chat or something, and I'll find it later. Or again, I'll send you. If I don't get it later, I will try to send you.
Yeah.
A thing.
And I could actually rename homebrew discussions with something like member discussions or something like that, and it could just be a chat that we give temporary permissions to, so you can chat anytime we need to with one of the viewers, one or even multiple.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah. So when the topic, whether it's both of us, do it on a Discord or Twitch. Perfect. And then we'll just be able to send that out here soon. Just want to make that note for me. Perfect. Cool.
Beautiful.
Oh, all right. I think that was everything that we had that's been happening recently.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I am I'm very excited for the Oracle. I'm very excited to see what it will do for us. But even though I'm not interested in having like the Oracle have the original idea for the public facing thing, it does open the opportunity for different interactive projects for the community.
Oh, absolutely.
Things like potentially a custom Discord bot, maybe.
Oh, this is true.
So I want to. This is why I need to prioritize some project notes, because once I have a full idea of what's all in the mix of what I might want to do, things like a Discord bot we could ping the community and figure out what would you want from that. Like not just like adding a Discord bot to the Discord that already exists, right? Because there's shit tons of Discord bots. But imagine we made a Misfit Gamers bot. Like it is the Misfit Gamers bot. What should it do? If it were in our Discord, what should it be able to do? Should it just be a thing that you can ping for the leaderboard? Should it be something that can pull information from the Oracle and from the data, just like just the wiki part of it. That's the kind of thing is we could do. I mean, I could program it with all of the high point custom notes, so you could ask it, like, how like I have my DM questions where I try to answer how does raw versus high point answer. I could make a Discord bot that does that, where you could ask it a ruling, like a rule question. It will give you the D&D rule, like I would, and the source of where that came from. But if there's a high point variant of that, it could also give you the high point variant.
Interesting. Actually, yeah, that would be very cool.
So I could very easily make a bot that does that. So again, it's not access to the Oracle like I originally planned, but this is what it means to have this the way I built it. I wish I could really like take the time to explain it to you guys, but the way that this thing is built, it would be that easy. It would very easily be something I could build out to where we could have a bot that has the same type of access that could pull that level of information like automatically for anyone in the Discord, at a limit, obviously, so it can't be spammed. But I've also thought about the idea of the Oracle being something that can eventually be turned into a customized VTT because of all of the information it's going to have once I put in all of my own personal rules. Well, if you think about it, if I just tell it to how to put in my own rules, right? Like if I tell it how my proficiency points work, I can just say, here's all of the rules for second edition, build out the character sheet, build out how it levels up, just automate it. And then I would just plug in how I do proficiency points and just make the modifications. So it would just automatically add them at the levels I say.
Right.
And then,
I mean, the coding for that stuff is not that difficult, to be honest. Like,
so that's the thing is like, once I put it in there and just say, and again, like, the attack is like, instead of just saying you get 1 attack per round, it's check this table of how many proficiency points do you have. That tells you how many attacks per round you have. You know what I mean? Like, it's really just database tables. It's just lookup tables. So if I could get all of that into the Oracle, I could easily build out a very basic VTT that is not meant for public. You also got to realize I'm not building anything to sell. We're not selling you all anything. But the VTT is like for me and my friends, but eventually if I can test it live, like in person, IRL with me and my buddies and Kage and Vixie, we might be able to launch it to where we can finally game with chat. Because if I can test it in person, if I could get it to hold character sheets, hold character information, let us roll. And here's the cool part. I could add in a digital roller or just a box that says when it's time for you to roll, you can just put in the number you rolled and then it will add all your modifiers. So if you're live, you could literally just roll a die and just say, I rolled an 18 and then it will add all your numbers, or I rolled a 2, it will add all your numbers. So if I can get this to work IRL, and the Oracle has all of my high point lore data, I can essentially have a customized way to where on stream we can display people's, again, and this isn't paying anybody else. I'm not going to ask you guys to join it. It wouldn't be like that, but
absolutely,
I could easily, and I could make an easy web portal for y'all to have a, like it would be like a subscriber only thing. So you don't have to download anything, but you would have access to your character sheet, all your notes. It's, again, not an app. We're not trying to make money here, but I'm building something that I could give very limited access to in order to be able to play high point.
Login.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like I'd be able to play high point with people and strangers without drastically having to train them from the bottom up, right? It would be as much of a visual thing where it would be all there for you to understand, and you wouldn't have to learn from the ground up all the mechanics, right? I mean, not video gamify it, but make it as UI friendly so you're not really thinking as much. Because I know some people really like the math, but AD&D players love the math. But most 5e players aren't down with the math as hardcore as it used to be.
When they roll, they just want to know if they hit or not. Like that's really what it is. They just want to know if they hit or not. You know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely.
So
no, I feel that.
You were wondering who we were talking about? What? Huh? Or wait, what? I don't know what you meant, Cart. There might be a delay. I wonder if we're on a delay right now. I feel like Cart's messages might be either the messages are behind or our stream is behind.
So when I'm looking at our stream, it was a lot further behind than I thought, but I thought that was just me.
Oh, so Cart might be. So Cart's probably talking about when I accidentally said Dez.
Yes.
For the one-on-one, and then corrected myself. And then something about sounds good all there for nerdy D&D stuff. Okay, that's probably the topic they want to do. Gotcha. Okay, so they're just commenting on that part. So they haven't caught up to this conversation yet. We'll see you when you get here, Cart.
That's so crazy. So delayed.
But yeah, so the Oracle basically means that, like, again, I never thought about publicizing High Point. High Point was never meant to be a module other people could run. But this might actually be the bridge to where I could actually introduce people to High Point, not for the sake of them playing in High Point, but for the sake of them showing what it can be like when you basically lean into being more narrative heavy and lean into making the rules fit the world you are building, instead of worrying about, are you playing towards something that's already been fully fleshed out and built. So yeah, it would be a very interesting way to do that. And again, it might be a proof of concept. This is where it gets, up some people's sleeves, and maybe people get a little bit crazy over this part, but again, something that you could package up, and then that might be a tool other people could use. I mean, imagine being able to get the skeleton of this entire project and not the details of it, but then be able to give that to you, and from this ground up, you could build the Cineverse version of everything I have.
Right.
So, and how about that? Think about this: the way that how this thing works right now. Think about all the Cineverse information, because it's already knows to prepare for Cineverse information. I could also have it parse all of that out and segregate it, and then just give it to you separately without any High Point influence.
I will love that whenever that is possible. You have no idea. That is going to be so valuable for me, and I'm going to use that for my own as well.
Oh, Cart has a question for you.
So if that is solely up to me, from what I've seen, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like a this or that question. It looks like something about the things that they've submitted.
So this was what we were talking about when we reviewed their last thing that was a lot bigger. It was the Trastborn. I said that the last 50 pages were just creature stat blocks.
Right.
And the question was, could he use those creature stat blocks as additional submissions? Basically saying, hey, I'm going to take
this gotcha. So can they be treated as individuals?
Yes, gotcha. Just stuff that we add to the queue and review.
My only
time goes on.
My only caveat was to make sure that if you want to submit them that way, that's fine. But again, just be confident that they are standalone, because you all know that is part of the grading process. Is if it looks like this is too required to be part of this module, that would really tank the opportunity. So if you're confident they can be on standalone, cool. I just left it up to you to decide, Kage, because you know the list, and if we have too many creatures, do you want other stuff? But if you're cool and think we need more of it, and Cart thinks that they are fully indivisible, then great. I'm here for it. I just wanted to make sure that was clear, though, as I didn't want to go through and be like, oh, this would be great in that setting, but otherwise this can't be used. And if that's just going to tank all of the scores, and I don't want your average to go out like that for those reasons, right? Absolutely. And if we're going to showcase it, to be honest, I don't want to showcase them all individually, because that's not really what the showcase is meant to be for. So
I would not recommend it if they were only showcase worthy.
Cool.
For sure. So as I'm converting them, I will check more specifically. But from what I've seen thus far, they feel very, very individual, not holistic. If that makes sense. They might be themed towards a thing, but it's not like their function is isolated to the thing.
Fantastic. That was my only caveat for everyone's knowledge, just so we're all on the same page. But otherwise, Cart,
absolutely.
send away. All right, so I think that was all the updates. So Oracle is 100% live. That will lead to other things, but otherwise somewhat changed. Website, OSR coming soon. Discord bot. I will eventually put out some sort of feeler on Discord. So y'all start thinking, if we had a custom Discord bot, specifically Misfit Gamer Studios branded, what should it be able to do? Think about that. You can flood the chat right now. Kage will grab chat later, but don't try to grab chat, or we don't need to have the ideas right now, but think about it. You can put them in, the ideas chat, or hold off until I post something. But anything you can think of, if you had a bot in Discord, what kind of stuff would you want to be able to ask it or have it do for you? Ask questions and see what the high point variant ruling would be. Should it be able to just do basic D&D calculations? Let me know, and I'll put it on the list of priorities, and we'll see where that falls in the next couple months. Again, all of this shit is on the end of year list now, so start thinking about it. Okay.
Absolutely.
I think that's good. I think review time.
Review time. Yes.
Review time. Review time. Okay. Boom.
Let me see.
We start with the ranch hand. Dez, you here? Is Dez in the chat? Calling Dez.
Yes, I am about to do
Calling
that
Dez.
right now. Oh wait, that's the wrong button. Is it this one?
Is it that one? What button is it?
It is that one. Perfection.
Oh my god, bro. So you know how we talked about part of the priorities? I gotta make sure that's on the priorities list real quick. Hold on. We talked about setting the leaderboard through a development process. I could have a dashboard with a one-click button, so it reads the upcoming review, right? It'll read the upcoming review, and then you can just have a one-click button that would, through the webhook, post what you just post. You know what I mean? We could just have a dashboard that reads what's coming up, and then we can on the day just click the button and be like, hey, here's your reminder. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Absolutely.
It's dope. It's stupid. Bro, it's stupid. It's stupid. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all for good. It's all for good. So yeah, Dez, I don't know if you're in. I thought I saw. Did Dez not show up earlier? No, it wasn't Dez. I completely no. It was always Cart.
I do see them online, but you called Cart Dez earlier.
Yeah, I think from the beginning. I don't know why I did that. My bad.
That's all good.
How can I do that to our most supportive fan?
That's freaking right. That's freaking right.
Ugh.
You gotta keep living the top tier life.
All right, well, we've given them 45 minutes, or at least a half hour, 45 minutes total. So I think we can start. So let's go with the ranch hand background from Desmar Sama. Potential playable background, but let's see if it passes the high point sniff test. Would I use it? All right. The ranch hand, starting always with the description. The ranch hand is rugged and indispensable figure, navigating the challenges of rural life, tending to the livestock, and mastering the ebb and flow of the natural world. With a deep connection to the land and a practical understanding of animal husbandry, ranch hands are the stewards of agriculture, ensuring that communities thrive amidst the wilderness. You just heard us say that you're on a delay. Holy shit balls. That means Cart hasn't even gotten to your answer yet. Yep. Hey, Dez, what up? Yep. That's crazy that Cart hasn't even gotten to your end. That's hilarious.
Which is funny. Which is going to be hilarious because when we get to talking about Dez not being here, Dez is going to be here.
But I think Dez is caught up, so yeah. Card says, but I was referring to, oh, for you, he's running to you, was wondering if all the different stat blocks they have in their module. All right, you might have to talk to him about this. I'm not sure what this comment
So
is.
he what he just described there is exactly what I expressed to you, and he might
cool.
not have gotten to the part in my response yet.
Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, as long as you two know what you're talking about, then we'll continue, because I do see that Des is here.
I'm
all right, cool. All right, so skill proficiencies: animal handling and survival. I can't think of any others that would replace survival better. Like, survival makes perfect sense. Animal handling, obviously. Survival, I don't know anything better off the top of my head.
Yeah.
There's really no farming or anything else like that.
Other than nature,
Oh, nature. Okay, yeah, no
option.
Nature is foraging. Foraging's not even a skill anymore, right? That used to be a proficiency.
Static, not okay. Like rules as written. It's not.
So that would be that would probably be under nature.
Yes.
Okay, I would give nature. I would say, again, this is one of those opportunities where I wish 5th edition would do this more. It should say animal handling and one of the following: survival or nature. That would be perfect.
I do like that. Like
that's really what 5th edition should embrace more, is choose one and then give a choice. Tool proficiency, land vehicles. Interesting.
Like, I'm assuming that's like a plow and being able to like drive a cart
or wagon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I do like it. No, there's not an equivalent that would make sense for that. It would be a feat, and backgrounds don't usually give like actual feats, like real feats. Usually.
Yeah.
Okay, no, land vehicles was. I was thinking like an improvised weapon, like, you know, being able to use like farm equipment, but that's really like there's a feat for that. So I don't really think that would be real. So yeah, so land vehicle, van vehicle makes sense. Languages,
theoretically.
1 and 1 additional. Totally fine. Equipment, 5 days of feed, a pack saddle, saddlebags, signal whistle, common clothes, and pouch of 10 GP. That's actually a lot of GP for a ranch hand.
That's a lot of GP. Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot. I mean, unless you sold your ranch.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
All right, the thing that you... I mean, what would you give a ranch hand? Like maybe 10 silver?
I mean, like, I feel bad you get kind of gypped from choosing this background, but
honestly, honestly though, if you get a pack saddle and saddlebags, those are pretty fucking expensive. So honestly, I would say give it 10 copper, give it like 10 copper, but you have a horse and saddlebags.
Yeah.
I would totally give it a horse. I would totally give this background a horse in replacement for all your gold. Like you only get 10 copper, but you have a horse, you have saddlebags. That right there, so expensive, because you could sell it. You could immediately sell that and get like a couple gold.
If you had, like, because I've never seen a background actually like give you an animal or like a something living like that. Now, here's the deal. Specifically because it's coming from a background, it's going to be mundane, it's not going to be magical, it's not going to be attached to you, it has the ability to die, all this extra stuff, and I think that not all the time, like, DMs will just make your thing stay alive all the time because it's your pet and they don't want it to actually, like, you know, bother you or whatever.
I mean, pets are, and this is why I categorize things differently. In High Point, there's pets and then there's familiars. And there is a distinction. So you can have a pet and and pets can even respond to you and be fond of you, but there's a much big difference between a pet and a familiar. You can have, and some animals can be either. Like a horse can be both a pet or a familiar. A cat, a dog, all of those can be both pet and familiar. But
can any of them be both?
Well, typically familiar is just a higher bonding, right? So think of the difference as like a cat or anything that's a pet will be calm around you. It'll be friendly towards you. You might be, affectionate with you. You feed it. You might be able to even ride it if it's like a horse. But a familiar will return to you after there's danger. A familiar might fight for you. A familiar would rescue you if there's danger or help you along. Like, you might be near a horse, and if there's a sudden fire, if it's a pet, it's gone. If it's a familiar, it's getting you to get on its back and carry you out. So to me, And then
so
that's why
levels, not like I thought you were talking about more of like a mystical / magical connection, but this
no. It's a yeah. You have it exactly right. It's a tier system to recognize. So it's like as a DM, if you use animal handling, you are friendly with an animal, right? It doesn't treat you as a complete danger, right? You've de-escalated it. But to be a pet means it knows you. It is familiar with you, but it is not your familiar. It recognizes you and is okay with your presence up to certain points. But once it starts to want to follow you, protect you, return to you, once you can interact with it on a level like where, it might bring you food if you notice that you're hungry, or if you're thirsty, it might, try to, nudge you towards like water. Like the familiar becomes a bond. And that's why find familiar, in my opinion, is exactly that. If you look at the spell, you're just finding a wild creature. But what the spell does is it inspires that bond. That's why that creature can die and you can recast it. So pets are just a tier down from that. They're as bonded to you as a pet is, right? It could be extremely an extreme bond, but it is a singular pet that has a singular life, and its only connection to you is essentially affection and trust, but nothing beyond that. There's no reciprocal, like expectation. So does that make a little bit more sense on like my 2-tier systems?
No, absolutely. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted watching Dez get excited for the beginning of the review.
Man, we are way behind. We're so behind.
I just
what's going on, Hoilepo?
Change and actually show the ranch hand. That's so funny.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think that would be cool. Great way to replace the gold. But let's see what we get for choosing this. We get the feature Lending a Hand. You spend many seasons working those harsh mornings and late nights. You know your way around a farm, a ranch, or even a pinch in a port. Or even in a pinch, a port. There we go. It may not be glamorous work, but it pays well enough, and anyone looking for help will be grateful. You always seem capable of finding a day's work as manual labor in exchange for somewhere you and your friends can settle for in for a night. I love this feature. So cool. Here's my only thing about it is, okay, well, it's not really a thing about it. I love it. I think this is absolutely perfect and is something that is needed for 5th edition. However, I do think it's going to be underlooked by a lot of DMs and a lot of players because I just don't think that that's enough of a challenge normally. I personally think it's great. However, a caveat is that for High Point in 2nd edition, this is what I automatically do as long as it makes sense for how the character was built. So having it as a feature that only is attached to one background is where I would draw my personal issue, is because if you were a monk and there's a monastery nearby, that's enough of a background to know that you can, well, like if you were a monastery monk, then a monastery is nearby. If you're a cleric, any of your churches you can go to, right? If you're a paladin, any of your churches you can go to. So there are certain recognitions that based on your background or your class, they're, to me, this should be built into the story, but I love it because it isn't.
At the very least, all of the backgrounds that you just mentioned, that is their feature. It's so weird that those are the ones that you mentioned. Like, even specifically, there's like an, I don't know if it's not entertainer, but it was one where you could like make money by like performing at a tavern. Like I think it was dancer or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's it. But it's not a bard feature. It's a subclass feature, right? So not every bard can do that.
It's a background feature. Yes.
Or a background, right? But that's the thing is like, in my opinion, like every character, not every character guarantees this, but every character should have the potential to, based on how they weave their backstory.
Somebody like Far Traveler, like they probably wouldn't have something like this specifically.
Yeah, but you know what they could. But here's what I would give it: if I had a smart enough player, they wouldn't be able to find accommodations for everybody, right? They wouldn't be able to do that. But a Far Traveler, what they would be able to do is either A, find a hostel, like find somewhere that acts like a hostel because they're used to finding those places, or if you have a Far Traveler in your party, they can always find accommodations for themselves. Because being a far traveler, you can always find that one hay bale. You can always find that one bench someone will let you sleep on. You will always find that one pew, that church that will let you sleep in a pew. Like you can't guarantee everybody, but your backup would be, I will find a place. You guys don't worry.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's say everyone's now starting to complain about the quality. I don't know why the quality is so bad right now.
Is there any chance it's because it's windy? Because it wasn't Vixie talking about the power going out?
It is extremely windy out here. I don't know how that would affect the internet, but it's possible.
Yeah.
I would try to reset it, but I always hate that because I don't know if it would be. It's a 10-minute delay. Jesus Christ. Should I try and attempt a full restart of just the stream? Should I just shut down the stream real quick and then come back?
It might work. Yeah, I would be. See, I'm curious if the stream's gonna keep going for another 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like, but if they don't see it.
Oh wait, no, it just cut out. It just cut out.
The stream cut out.
There was a network error.
Well, that's what they were saying. Is it's buffering? Is it that like the dude with his hands up?
No, it says click here to reload player. There was a network error. It's just a black stream.
Interesting.
Error 2000.
Interesting. Okay.
That's so crazy.
Because I'm still live on my side.
I'm gonna try and reload the player and see what happens.
I wonder how it is. Can you check it on YouTube as well? Because I don't want to bring it up on my side because I don't want to make my internet any worse. Let me go check with Vixie to see if anything's happening on her end.
YouTube seems to still be running. The past, present, and the future right now. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I still see. Okay, so you're on YouTube. YouTube's not delayed. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so YouTube is much less delayed. It's just TikTok. That's crazy. Okay, well that's good to know. Hey, Vortex. It's just Twitch.
Hey, what's that?
It's just Twitch. YouTube is so much less delayed.
Huh.
And even the chat is lined up with what's actually happening, whereas in Twitch, it's not. It's so weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very odd. So maybe it's not me. Maybe it's just Twitch. Maybe something's just happening with Twitch that we can't. But it's still up though. Like Twitch is still happening, or did Twitch die? Because Vixie was able to bring up the stream, and it was a few minutes ago.
It keeps going out and then coming back. It keeps going out, and then I refresh the thing, and then it goes up again. So maybe it's my end trying to oh my gosh, look, it just did it again. That's so crazy.
So I mean, yeah, I guess the question is, do we? Well, here, how about this? We can wait a few minutes, wait for everyone to catch up to when we asked, should we reset? Because everything after that doesn't matter, right? Like we've just been sitting here.
Yeah.
So.
Screen. Maybe a farm animal. Oh, that's a good idea, Helepa. A farm animal. I mean, that's valid. I don't know when you're gonna see this, but don't forget about the TikTok stream if you haven't. Oh, TikTok. That's fair. That's crazy. That's so crazy.
The TikTok stream. I mean, I didn't do TikTok today for. I want to set that up for Fridays first.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so YouTube's not delayed for Vixie. This is crazy.
Would you prefer I don't send them to YouTube if I like just let them know that YouTube is a lot less delayed?
Yeah, as long as we don't like send them there. I mean, just happening to, you know, if that just happens to be the fact, that's just a fact.
Okay.
But whatever happens in Discord stays in Discord, so. All right, so yeah, a lot of people are having some issues. Okay, so yeah, should I try to reset? I mean, I don't know if that would help anything, but I can try.
I think it's worth a try. It's worth a try. See what happens.
I mean, all we have left is the character. I mean, all we have left is the characteristics. I mean, we could just build through that real quick and then just call it a day. I mean, if it's gonna be this bad, we don't have to do 2 today. You know
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
As long as everyone's catching up to the stream, you know what, we'll just power through. Yeah, it's just
through, y'all.
Yeah. All right. So, letting hand, I think is a great feature. Again, I think this should be built into everything. I get exactly why this would be useful, but again, it just depends on how narratively driven you want your campaign.
You know, I think, like you said, backgrounds overall in 5th edition are very underused, and so giving it more reason to be used, I think is always a good thing. It's the problem I find is the player mindset when it comes to the value of story.
Yeah.
Right? Because too often I think they just value story too little, and they value more looking cool and badass mechanics, right?
But I also think that's a lot on the DM though, because the DM doesn't like reward that, right? Like you could be all into this character, but the DM never has an NPC that recognizes like, oh, you know, you're the only one who understands what real labor is, what real hard work is, right? Because like to me, those are the times that I remember, like when I was still a player, those are the times that like stood out to me the most, is when you had this like quirk about your character or had something that was really meaningful to the character build, and the DM used it in a way that was either non-traditional or just like blatant, where like an NPC recognized you for it, or you know, it's because of that feature that you weren't even using, quote unquote, but because you had it, that was the turning tide for some conversation or some diplomatic choice, right? You know, there's just those little things to just kind of give the nod, like, hey, that works. I took that into account. That matters. It's one of the reasons why I like being part of the character creation process so much with my players, is knowing what was important to you during the build is going to let me know what will mean the most to call back to. Because if you say, yeah, I had some parents, I had a family, they were over here, but you know, I built this like really cool staff and it has this you know, this cool design on it, and I also was born with a design birthmark on my arm that looks exactly like it. No one knows what it's about, blah blah blah. And so I'm like, cool. So if later I'm like, big reveal, your parents are alive, you're gonna be like, cool. What's with the staff? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where you want to delve into their interests. So yeah, I think it's a great feature. I think there's a lot of opportunity with backgrounds and features. I think if the features gave both the player and the DM more insight as to what it could be, more than just, hey, you could get a free place to sleep. If that's not a problem your DM's gonna give you every time, you know, if you're not gonna like have to sit there every time and worry about where you're gonna sleep, is, you know, how beneficial is having that in your background? But if this was something like, I mean, you know, it's the same thing like bartering for food is kind of the same thing, but you know, this is just manual labor for exchange. But I'm trying to think of like what a fifth edition, because for me, being a farmer, there's a lot of things you could tell, like the condition of soil. You could tell, you know, how someone tends to their crops or how someone tends to their animals if an animal is sick. It's not just animal handling that you got, but you know, those are some things that are just innate to me as a farmer. So I'm just trying to think of like, what's a standout feature that you as a player, again, not combat, not anything major, but could look back on instead of just oh, well, I can get us free room and board, but it's more of a, hey, I can use my knowledge and experience to do something.
A classic that I really like, that I feel like could be expressed across a lot of different backgrounds is, I think that if you can say something to the effect of, hey, you get to have advantage on checks regarding X, Y, and Z. So for a ranch hand, like you have, you know, checks regards to your given field, you have advantage on those checks, right? Whether they're nature checks or history checks or whatever the case may be. Like, I think it would make the most sense if it were like nature and survival and stuff like that. But like honestly, like if you just give them the opportunity to be better at those things when those things come up, I think that they would feel like they are that thing a lot more, right? Because I think so often it comes down to, I really feel like I don't really feel like the big strong guy because I accidentally rolled a nat 1 on this strength check, right? And so all the time I'm trying to do what big strong guys do, I never roll well enough, even though that's what I'm supposed to be good at. You know what I mean?
So like here's like, something I could be down for is like the feature, because we talked about this like with the equipment. What if the feature was you start with a horse, or you start with a horse, and you can get a rideable horse for 25% like the standard cost, as long as there's a farm around.
Oh.
So like the idea is you'll start with a horse, but if you ever lose it, or if you ever just want to get more horses, the idea is that if there's a farm, you could essentially get a crappier horse for cheaper by bartering with like the farm people. Be like, hey, look, you don't need that extra horse or whatever. So something along the lines of, again, that's super useful, but also not. Like, you're not going to go to one farmer and buy 10 horses from them, but it's like, you just get one off. So like, if there's a farm around, you can get a horse for cheap one time.
Yeah, no, I love that, especially because it makes them feel super valuable. Now, I don't know how you want, and I think this will be up to the DM and the particular situation, and I hope people can make that happen. But like, if you have like a party of people and like you guys are in dire straits, and you know, maybe they got like 4 or 5 workhorses, but like you guys really need to go somewhere to help save this town, like, could you convince this dude to, number one, let you take these horses? And he's like, oh no, but you guys won't be able to take care of them. Like, no, I know how to take care of these guys. I know how to keep them ready. I know how to keep their shoes clean. I promise we will have them back in working order for you, or whatever, something like that. I don't know. But like, give you the opportunity to do something like that, and like
exactly. And that's how I would love these 5e features to happen more, because that's kind of what I try to do with my players when they create the characters. I try to give them those little individual background features based on what they built, not based on what they chose, right? It's not like a default, choose nobility background, this is what you get. It's how and why did you choose the nobility background, and how did you get here will dictate the feature you got based on nobility, not because you're just a noble, right? So I wish 5e would embrace something like that, where this could be more than just, hey, you can sleep. But that's not a dig against Des.
Right, fair enough. Absolutely.
All right, so let's check this out. So building a ranch hand character. Ranch hands are individuals who grew up or spent significant time in rural areas, working on farms, ranches, or homesteads. Their skills often fall into camps of rangers or fighters. Yeah, makes sense. They possess practical knowledge of agriculture and animal care, making them valuable contributors to rural communities. Ranch hands may have a specific area of expertise, such as herding, farming, or ranching. Some seek adventure to find wealth, to gain strength, to protect their lands, or even some try to escape the mutiny of their life, or the mundanity of their life. This brings us back to another conversation that we've had before of the meaning of choice, like choice tables. So imagine if, depending on what you used to do, would give you like your feat. So if you were a stable hand, right? If you worked on a ranch and were a stable hand, you get animal handling and a horse. If you were a farm hand, meaning you dealt with crops, maybe you get a different feature, right? Maybe you get the foraging skill. So you just never go, you just don't have to carry food on you. You can always forage, right? Maybe you were, like a field tender, to where you plowed fields. So maybe you're extra strong and you just know how to, do wagons, right? So like the idea of the type of farmer, the right type of ranch you worked on could dictate what type of like specific feature you got, which would be kind of interesting. I think that's another mechanic that should be explored.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
All right, character traits. So here we go. We get 6 character traits. These are like your positive ways to, I guess, act like your character. I find solace in sounds of nature and often prefer the company of animals to people. Sounds like a druid more than anything.
Yes, it does.
Definitely ranger vibes.
I could see a druid going ranger.
Jesus Christ, Cart.
I could see a range hand.
What did you just do?
What? What's happening?
Why the hell did you just gift another 10 subs? Thank you, bro. But seriously, keep your money, man. It's not the fucking subathon anymore. Keep your money. Thank you. But
can't wait to see the delayed response. That's why. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. I freaking knew it. I freaking knew it. We love you, Cart. God
bro,
bless
you're
you.
awesome, but you really didn't need to do that. Appreciate you.
Oh, amazing.
Keep your fucking money now, okay? Wait till next year. You can wait. You can say, how about this? You can save all your money up that you want for every time you've ever wanted outside of your own sub each month. Save up all the subs you've ever wanted to use and just wait till the next subathon. And you can just drop a fucking, grand on us if you want.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Because you're gonna forget you said that, and then all of a sudden it's gonna happen.
We're gonna be at the subathon, and it's like I'm gonna be like, "Greetings, gamers! 1,000 subs."
Get out of here, bro! Like that's so crazy. And tell me that's not something Cart, especially after how Cart acted.
No. You know what would happen? You know what would happen is suddenly a brand new Discord server would appear in the ether, and it would fucking be Cart, Soul, and Hecate all joining forces to be like, how many can we buy all at once?
No, dude. Because they gotta level it up every time. That's why.
Oh,
that's so crazy. That's so crazy. Y'all are wild.
All right, we're gonna get to the rest of these.
How dare you?
When I enter a new settlement, I always seek out the local farmers or ranch to exchange stories and advice. Well, hey, there's the idea for the horse.
Yeah, there you go.
When I enter a new settlement, I always seek out local farmers and ranchers to exchange stories. Oh, that's written twice by accident. I have a talent for storytelling, often regaling others with tales of life in the countryside. Great for a bard backup, like a good way to lean into bard. Actually, I didn't even read off who got a thing. Let's see real quick. Who all got a gift from subs from Cart? So we got Marujo, something that's not pronounceable. Sebastian, Bleed Frame, Darkwell, Demon Desi. Oh, hey, a fellow Art of Rust. Cast 23, Socken Manager, Nazir, and Alexis. Yeah, it's probably people who have only ever stopped by, but that's awesome.
Wild. So wild.
Everything's on delay today, guys. Everything's on delay. All right, where were we? Oh, my mind is attuned to changes in weather. I can predict upcoming storms or shift in climate. That's not a bad one. I think that's actually fairly good. I'm frugal and resourceful. I always find practical uses for seemingly mundane items. That could be a lot of fun. That's a great trait in the right hands of a creative player.
Yeah. Like, especially if they lean into that well and like actually do this,
like truly be a MacGyver of the party.
It's hard because you cannot outsource a good imagination to your die roll.
No.
Right? Meaning, like, you can outsource your strength to a die roll. You can outsource your charisma to a die roll. You can outsource everything that your character is to a die roll, but you can't with their imagination because nobody else can think up cool ideas for you. You got to do it yourself.
Yeah, you can roll the die for the outcome it will work, but you can't roll the die that your character will come up with the right idea.
Yeah, exactly. So that one, you just got to be real smart if you take that one. Otherwise, you know.
In a campaign years ago, used to keep my arrows and bolts in buckets instead of the standard case. Easier access, I guess. Like, the idea is you could just grab them. They're a whole bucket. You could probably carry more because the bolt case usually only carries a certain amount. So a bucket would just get. Oh yeah. Forget a quiver. I got buckets. Like legit. That's totally fine if you can do that. I'm all for making weapon access easier for characters. So I'm all for that. All right, let's get and finish up with trinkets. So for the ranch hand, the 6 trinkets: a small, intricately carved whistle used for herding animals. I could see some uses for that.
Yes.
A worn out pair of gloves that have seen countless hours of hard work on the farm. I mean, good for maybe a mysterious magical item that they don't know about, but honestly, I'd rather have like a farm tool of my choice, like an axe or a shovel or something. You know, like if it's gonna be a tool, like I'd rather it be something a little more useful than gloves, unless the idea is for the DM to do something with that.
Sure. Yeah, fair enough.
A bundle of dried herbs said to ward off pests given to you by an old farmer. Ooh, plenty of opportunity there. Plenty.
Nice. Very nice.
A weathered leather-bound journal filled with sketches of animals and landscapes. That priceless. That's the one I want. As a player and as a DM. Right?
Yes.
Well, just as a player and as a DM, just like even if you just say it's mine, right? Like the characters, where the character just sits down and draws that could be part of your pastime, but that could be so useful to work with into the story and to just deal with NPCs and stuff. So yeah, that's my favorite so far.
I love it. I love it.
Ooh, a lucky horseshoe that once belonged to a prize steed you cared for.
Nice. Very cute.
There's practical uses for that.
Practical and what's it called? Storytelling.
Yes, there's so much involved with that.
Yes.
A small vial of soil from the first field you successfully cultivated. Oh, there's some deep lore implications about something like that.
I feel like that would be way more useful at High Point. Like, way more useful at High Point.
Oh, that could change. Dude, can you imagine? Can you imagine the first field they ever tended was that one from the Cattle Valley where it got poisoned?
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my god. Although, I question, dude, imagine if that vial of soil is the only clean element of soil after it got like cursed or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
And
Like it would be the only way to bring it all back. The whole valley could come back off of that soil sample.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But turns out that there's a microbe, and so what it would be, I might have to program this into High Point now. So what it would be is that there is a microbe in the soil. Like they're like the part of the soil isn't like, it's not like magical soil where, it's like its own bacteria will spread. But the thing is, there's a particular microbe in the original soil that, while highly susceptible to the very first strains of the disease, which basically killed off the soil and killed everything off, they're highly resistant and even feed off of the current generation of the disease. So while it was originally killed off by the first generation of the diseases, the later generations are actually now their food. So if you were to bring back that soil and those microbes, it's the complete opposite, to where now the microbes would essentially undo it because they've now become the dominant aspect. That would be the way to tell that story.
That's super valid. Absolutely it is.
And that's how you do it, is you get that soil, you cultivate it into more of that soil. And what you're really doing, you think you think of it as like we have blessed soil, we have to make more blessed soil. But really what you're doing is just building the microbes up. And then you bring those microbes over to eat all of the disease. And then there you go. You have all of your ground fully replenished after like a generation. And you think it's magic or divine work. And it's like, nope, it's just biology.
That's kind of clean. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. So I'm going to have to say that there's a lot of cool ideas here. This is something that, again, if somebody wanted to create a character and this was their chosen backstory, because I really like personal backstories, not like necessarily from a chosen list. I like that these are a option, but I really like building a backstory based off of the character, not the build, right? Kind of like with yours. You built your backstory not because you were like, this is I want to be these things. It was based off of all the details of your character and the story you wanted to tell with it. We kind of backed into a background and all of that, and you got what you got from it. So this is one of those ones where it has some cool ideas. I don't feel like this is extremely amazing in terms of like, I don't think it does anything that other backgrounds, not necessarily that other backgrounds don't do, but I just don't know if this does anything that I choose over other backgrounds.
I would say overall, and this is kind of where I put any backgrounds, like what size hole is it filling, right?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is like, yes, this is a unique background, but if I wanted to have these skills and abilities, if I wanted to say I came from somewhere, like, is there something else that would allow me to say the same thing, right? That's why there's so many background variations. Like there's certain backgrounds that have like different variations, which is different names. It basically gives you the same stuff, but it's just a slight variation of the other because it touches a different piece. So it's possible. Now I might like this foundation better than another one that's out there, but I do feel like it could be a variation of certain backgrounds that do exist.
And this one benefits mostly from a narrative-driven story, which 5e is not. So again, lots of opportunity at the right table. I don't think it is a immediate grab. Now, for the high point, for the high point compatibility score, though, I was originally going to give this a solid 5. I felt like it's a solid background. You could very easily use it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing broken. If you wanted to play this in high point, you very well could. I won't call it lackluster. I just don't think by itself it adds enough for me to be like, man, it works, but this is not something that I'm just like, I gotta tell my next new player about this. So I would have given it a down the center, but it is going to get the inspiration point because we did talk a lot about the potential for like the horse, how to revamp like the talking to them, the traits and the trinkets are really great. So I'm going to give it a 6. Mainly because like, the trinkets and the traits really nailed it for me. Those are what make me lean into it. I would much more prefer those kind of aspects, But again, as an entire picture, it's not enough for me to be like, oh man, this is in here. It's doable. Like, sure, if someone wanted to run this, but it's not enough to like claim it as I'm just going to run this now. This is exactly how a ranch hand works. So again, great. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, my changes are purely the changes of how 5e like does things and just how I would kind of narratively change it. But really, all of the skills, the tools, the equipment, the feature, like all of it is solid. Like anybody could use this. Anybody should use this if it's your vibe. Because again, I mean, like Kage said, this could very well be your vibe over any other background. It's not a bright shining star in the vast sea of all the others. So, but
Fair
still,
enough.
6 out of 10. That's still got to keep the average decent. It won't be perfect, but I think the other one's got 10 out of 10, right? So, hey,
one of them's a couple of them actually got 10 out of 10.
So this is gonna balance it out, right? This will balance it out. Not everything gets a 10 out of 10 anymore. You know, these days sometimes things are they are what they are.
I mean, listen, we're honest with our reviews, all right?
We try to
Sometimes
be.
you guys just give us way too good of stuff, all right? That's all it is.
That
you gotta
part.
calm that down.
Clock it.
For real.
Cool. No, so that's that. Hopefully that was good. I think we could have tried to get another one in, but I think with the stream delay, it's probably not worth it.
It's actually kind of crazy. Yeah.
I just need to go through, test my connections. I need to test maybe some of my settings. Maybe something just got messed up. So I will check all of that this week, and hopefully by Friday, we'll be able to get that fixed. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Des, I saw you out there on YouTube, so hopefully it was a good review. Hopefully you like the feedback. Again, nothing really to change. It's pretty solid. I think a lot of people would like it. I think it deserves to be out there in the ether. It's not my personal vibe, not my go-to, but I think it could absolutely be worked by a good player and a good DM together. Whew, that has so much potential. Oh, average is still 8 out of 10. According to Des, not bad.
Yep. I just posted that in the Discord.
Nice. Okay, so at least YouTube is definitely up to date and not that far behind. Sweet. All right, cool. So I think we're just gonna end it here. No other updates. We will let you guys know. Again, everything's no longer TBD. It is, well, TBD on end date, but they are all back on the plate for this year. So.
Yep.
Again, if you guys have any updates on what you would like to see a Discord bot do, let us know in the Discord what you would like it to be able to function as, and get creative. Let us know. We will work on figuring it out. And otherwise, OSR is coming on the way, and potentially more live plays, since we'll have a somewhat of a VTT to track everything better and actually maybe have a display, so it's not just us talking.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, man. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Des, awesome for the submission. We will get back to you all next week. Quick, what is next week's submission? I think we're going to do the doctor if nothing else gets formatted.
No. We do need to switch it up. So, you know what? That's to be announced.
So worst case, we're going to do another background from Des. Worst case, we'll do the doctor next week. If not, the Discord will get updated on the schedule will get updated with whatever else gets formatted.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, we'll let you know. And then Friday, we'll probably just do some games. I think it'll just be a good week for us. Actually, I'm actually taking some time off because my 7-month course starts soon. So I'm going to be leaving my team for 7 months at work and going to a 7-month course, which is going to be both through my work, but I'm also going to get some certifications through a local
that's very cool.
state college. So it's going to take a lot of my time. That's going to be a lot of fun. But that starts next month. So I'm actually taking time off. I only have 4 days I'm working this week. I took Friday off. So
very nice.
Friday we can even start a little bit sooner, depending on what your schedule is. We could just rock out with some games, maybe do some games of chat now that we have the whitelist.
Maybe we'll work that out.
We'll talk about it. And then I'm off until the 24th. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm off until the 31st.
Okay.
So I took Friday off, and then I'm off all next week. And then I don't go back to work until the 1st, and then I have a week with my team, and then I go to class. So, yeah, we have some fun times coming up for some potential good streams.
So I get off because I work for the school district now. I get off for the rest of the summer on the 5th. Like when you go back to work, like that's when I stop.
Funny.
That's funny.
All right, well, maybe I'll get some extra streams in. But otherwise, thank you all for joining us. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope you had a great week ahead of you, and we'll be back on Friday. Cheers.
Deuces, my friends.